To hell with it. Other thoughts churned in my head, but this one screamed louder than the rest. My palms were slick with sweat. The walls seemed to close in on me, and breathing felt like a challenge. Am I making the right decision? It didn't matter anymore. It was far too late to turn back. Here I stood, in front of an altar, dressed up like a colorful peacock. It was already done. Lenny, her mom, my mom, they'd been planning this wedding for months. Then, the sound of the wedding march blasted from every speaker in the church. I glanced around. Friends and family packed the pews. The guy up in the gallery was recording and live streaming for those who couldn't be here in person. And then there she was, Leanne. She looked incredible, radiant even. I watched as she took her father's hand and began her walk down the aisle. From my left, my best man leaned in and whispered, not as discreetly as he thought, "It's not too late, buddy. You can still make a run for it." He chuckled at his own dumb joke. That was Carl, my best friend since elementary school, with his unfiltered humor. Somehow, that stupid comment broke through the chaos in my head. It cleared my thoughts. I could do this. I could go through with it, find peace with the decision, and move forward. But then again, I can't do it. One of you has to marry her instead. Those words tumbled out of my mouth before I could stop them. Without waiting for anyone's reaction, I turned and walked out of the side door. The next few minutes were a blur. I circled the church, walked through the old cemetery, climbed over the fence, and cut across Old Man Johnstone's garden. My truck was parked on Willard Street, and it was calling my name. Once inside, I opened my laptop. My hand hovered over the keyboard for just a second before I hit send. Modern weddings thrive on social media and networking. I had access to all the phone numbers, email addresses, Facebook accounts, and even the live stream link. The only people who wouldn't receive what I was sending were Leanne, her parents, and a handful of elderly relatives. The rest? Oh, they'd see it all. The first clip showed Leanne's friends laughing and cheering her on during her bachelorette party. "Last night of freedom," they screamed. The second clip cut deeper. Leanne was in bed with someone who wasn't me. As the camera zoomed out, it revealed the guy to be Carl, my so-called best friend. The final clip sealed it. Leanne and Helen, her maid of honor, looking utterly disheveled and guilty. I started driving, unsure where I was going, when my phone buzzed. It was Carl. "You bastard," he yelled. "You'll pay for this." I hung up. Another call came in. This time, it was my other friend, 3AK. "Man, I saw the video," he said. "This is bad. Real bad. It's chaos in here. Sorry I left you to deal with it," I replied, my voice cold. But you know what? Screw them all. For the first time since I'd uncovered the truth, anger surged through me. Minutes later, another call came. This time, the screen showed it was Ollie, but it wasn't him. "What?" I growled into the phone. "Matthew, please." It was Leanne's voice, trembling and tearful. "I need to see you. Tell me where you are." "Dead." I answered and hung up. The phone rang again. This time, it was my father. "I thought we raised you better than this, boy," he said, his voice sharp with anger. It wasn't a question. It was an accusation. In the background, I heard my mom yelling, "Tell him we're waiting at home. He owes us and Leanne's parents an apology." They didn't ask how I felt. Not once. "We'll see you at home in 20 minutes, my dad added. Again, not a request, an order. I wanted to scream to hell with all of you, but instead, I just said, goodbye. Then, I turned my phone off. 3 hours north was Sydney. Beyond that, further up in North Queensland, was where I'd build my new life. Hopefully, a better one than this.